So here's our agenda today. We're going to talk about why we are here, who we are and how we got here, what is the French Broad River Academy exactly, why are we doing this, and when will this take place and where will it take place, and lastly, how will we do it. So a lot of information here, and we'll go ahead and get started, and we will respect the time and stop at 5:50. So I just quickly want to share kind of my career path or how I got to here. There's been a couple of key experiences in my life that really have informed my decision to do this. And before I even started college, I had this incredible experience during the middle of 5th grade. My family moved to Portugal, and we lived abroad. I learned Portuguese, studied French, traveled, was exposed to lots of different culture and an incredible set of experiences that you typically don't get at that age. Most people tend to wait till college, sometimes high school, but typically not in the middle school years. I also had this incredible camp experience at Camp Mondamin, just down the road from here. And we'll talk a little bit more about Mondamin later, but that was my first exposure and experience to an intense paddling program where I really developed the skills, not just to go rafting, but a lifelong set of skills for canoeing and kayaking and so forth, and also exposure to a community experience and culture that was very powerful and still is. And then during college, I went to Vanderbilt, studied, I majored in Latin American studies, so continued my study of foreign language, did a lot of service work over spring break. I led a trip during my junior year to inner city Detroit and worked with inner city schools, and that was kind of my first exposure to some of the problems in our public education system, and that led to some of the things that I'll talk about in just a minute. But during the summers, I would always return back to North Carolina and spend my summers working with Andrew Bell and David Byers and Dave Bourne and various other, Caleb, Megan, and various other camp folks that are here today as a counselor and also as a whitewater instructor. So after, and also did some work with Adventure Treks. After that, my then girlfriend, but now wife, and I moved to Wyoming, where I pursued a career in outdoor education. I was a ski instructor for Jackson Hole Mountain Resort. I taught kayaking at Jackson Hole Kayak School. I also ran the kids club for the kayak school. And then my partner and I, Jamie Saul, another Mondamin alum, we started a small company called Summit Whitewater Expeditions, where we recruited kids from the southeast and brought them to Northern California, Montana, Wyoming, and so forth, and led extended whitewater trips. And also focused on how do we develop the leaders of tomorrow and a lot of team building, leadership skills, and curriculum type stuff. And then our last year in Wyoming, I started working at Kelly Elementary School, which is also the first name of my wife. But that's a public elementary school in Wyoming, just outside Jackson Hole. And that was my first exposure to trying to juggle outdoor education with public schooling. And so I got really excited about this idea of maybe becoming a teacher and infusing the experiences I've had as an outdoor instructor and as a camp counselor into our public school system. So I applied to Teach for America, and for those of you that don't know, Teach for America recruits recent college graduates to teach in underserved schools throughout the country. And I taught for 2 years in eastern North Carolina, Warren County, in a very rural, very poor area, and learned a lot about teaching, but more importantly learned a lot about our education system and how it's where the holes in our public education system are. And then I moved to Asheville in 2004 and taught at the KIPP Asheville Youth Academy. And KIPP is a non-traditional school model that has a 6-day-a-week school structure, extended day, year-round basically teaching cycle that's very intense. It's like doing the Peace Corps basically. You really have to give your life to it. And I did that for 1 year, but also had a family starting around that time. So I transferred to Asheville Middle School after that. But these experiences of Teach for America, KIPP, and Kelly Elementary School, and then later Asheville Middle School, really laid the foundation of my public educational experience. And these later informed a lot of the stuff I'm doing now, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But David is going to speak briefly about his career path.
Sure. Hey, I'm David Byers, the future curriculum specialist and lead teacher at the French Broad River Academy. Will, you didn't have Harvard on there, man.
Well,
He's getting his master's degree at Harvard now, in education, our school leadership. And by the way, our full resumes are posted on our website if you care to take a look, but ours are remarkably similar. I'm a native of Asheville. Grew up going to Asheville City Schools, went to what is now Asheville Middle School, it was then Asheville Junior High, graduated from Asheville High, started going to Camp Mondamin the summer after my 6th grade year, and that also had a tremendous impact on me. I think in the middle school years, being comfortable in the woods, being comfortable camping, going on extended whitewater paddling trips that really shaped who I was. Went to UNC Chapel Hill, go Heels. And like Will, continued to come back in my summers in between college and work as a canoeing counselor, and worked for Adventure Treks as well. I did Teach for America right out of college, TFA. I taught a middle school science in inner city Los Angeles, which certainly exposed me to some of the deficiencies in our public school systems. After completing 2 years, I did a Knowles course for a semester in southern Chile, and went back to graduate school, got a master's degree at Duke. I say it in a hushed voice because I am a Tar Heel. I have a master's in environmental management, and I've always thought, how can I bring that master's degree into fruition with my passion for education, and I eventually got a great job out of grad school with the Low Country Institute, which is a grassroots nonprofit in Beaufort, South Carolina, doing environmental education, environmental advocacy, going into public schools, elementary schools through middle schools, teaching about local flora and fauna, my favorites being the baby alligators and snakes and turtles. And then I wanted to come back to North Carolina, ended up in eastern North Carolina at a KIPP school, which has a great reputation in one of the poorest parts of the state, Gaston College Prep. And as Will well knows, it's a tough year working at KIPP, and we both survived 1 year. He was at the KIPP Academy in Asheville, I was in Gaston, but learned a tremendous amount about shaping curriculum, having an intense extended day program, and then ended up back at Asheville High, my alma mater, teaching science for 2 years, biology, earth science, physical science, and reconnected with Will back here in my hometown, and am thrilled to be a part of this.